What does it mean for someone to be brain dead? We've heard about people being declared brain dead, but what does that actually mean? On today's Quickie, we'll answer this and other burning questions you have sent in. If you'd like us to answer your questions, use the hashtag provided. Brain death is a term used to describe a situation where there is permanent damage to the parts of the brain responsible for keeping you alive, meaning that those parts of the brain cannot be repaired and will not function again. Once someone is brain dead, there is no hope of recovery. The entire brain, including the brainstem, has permanently stopped functioning. Once someone is brain dead, they are brain dead. There is no partial brain death or varying levels of brain death. Brain death is different from a coma or a persistent vegetative state. In these conditions, there is still some brain activity and there is a chance that the person may recover. But in brain death, all brain activity has ceased. The parts of the brain that control breathing, heartbeat, and other essential functions have permanently stopped working. Yes, you can donate organs if you are not brain dead. However, the organs must still be viable. This means that they must be healthy and functioning properly. If you are not brain dead, your organs will stop functioning once you have been removed from life support. Therefore, the decision to remove someone from life support and allow them to die must be made quickly. The medical team will work with the family and the donation team to coordinate the organ donation. Brain death is different from a coma or a persistent vegetative state. In a coma, a person may appear to be asleep and unresponsive to their surroundings. Please remember to click the like button. But their brainstem, which controls essential functions such as breathing and heartbeat, is still active. In a vegetative state, a person may show some signs of brain activity, such as eye movements or sleep-wake cycles, but they are unable to interact with their environment or communicate. However, in brain death, all brain activity, including that of the brainstem, has permanently ceased. Brain death is often caused by severe traumatic brain injury, stroke, brain tumor, infection, or lack of oxygen to the brain. Once brain death has occurred, there is no hope of recovery. Currently, the only way to determine if someone is brain dead is through extensive testing, which rules out the possibility of any brain activity. There is no test that can accurately predict whether someone is brain dead just by looking at them. Therefore, a clinical team must examine the patient and perform various tests, including checking for reflexes and brain activity, before making a diagnosis. First question: what does it mean for someone to be brain dead? Next question: what happens after you are declared brain dead? When someone is declared brain dead, they are immediately placed on life support to keep their body functioning. This is done so that the medical team can assess the patient to see if they are a potential donor. If they are, then the organs can be preserved until they can be transplanted into another individual. If the person was not a donor, then the life support may be withdrawn and the person allowed to die naturally. Some families choose to keep their loved one on life support so that they can spend more time with them. In these situations, the medical team will work with the family to provide comfort care. This includes measures such as turning and repositioning the patient, providing pain medication, and keeping the patient clean and comfortable. Question: can someone who is brain dead recover? As mentioned earlier, brain death is a permanent condition. You may ask, are there different degrees of brain death? The answer is no. There are not different degrees of brain death. Do not miss our next video on "Can you donate organs if you are not brain dead?" We hope this video has enlightened you more about brain death.